Hello, everyone. Andrew and Kelly here with our yearly, except for the years when we don't do this, look at the top three most impactful movies or TV shows or things that we saw in the previous year. But before we get to that, we have a present for you. And our present for you is my sister's birthday present for me.
Yay!
Today is my
Birthday!
birthday. It's February 1st as we record this. And this arrived today on my
Yes,
birthday. I have no idea how my sister actually does this, but she does.
I
Now, if this were
do.
her birthday, it would get to her like 2 weeks. I usually get it
Somewhere
within.
in October.
Well, we've got some whipped cream cheese. I have a theory as to what this is. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is carrot cake is best cake. Make your own damn birthday cake. Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
That right.
That's um you know what? Honestly, that's fun. I've never thought to do it. Just so
Happy
uh
birthday.
thank you. That is lovely. So carrot cake is best cake.
Carrot
Okay.
cake is best cake.
Oh man, that is good. I like that. Um
Good.
and we're having another storm here in Southern California, so with flood warning and stuff. We had one of
Yeah,
those week or two ago.
yeah.
Not as bad today. It's just been raining since about 5 in the morning. Um, I sent you a picture 2 weeks ago
Yes, you
of a
did.
river
Yes.
kind of going down the street next to me,
Yeah.
and the water rolling down. Now I do live on a slant, but the water rolling down my street was above the sidewalk.
Right.
So,
Yeah. It
but
was especially since it's going downhill for it to still be that high. I was like, "Oh dear."
yeah, we
Yeah.
got like 3 inches in almost as many hours. Uh, it was something like that. It was quite a lot. I think today we're getting like 2+ inches, but not as much as we had a couple of weeks ago. So, all right.
There
So
you go.
2024. So
It
it is
is.
time to look back at 2023. You see, my sister and I, unlike everyone else who's just worried about SEO and algorithm garbage, we don't do our end of the year lists in the beginning of December because we watch crap all the way up to the end of the year.
Which is
And
true.
it wouldn't make any sense to do a best of 2023 list with like 3 weeks left in 2023. Stop doing that. So here we are, a month into 2024. We're going to look back at what we saw in 2023. And I watched a lot of stuff in 2023, 212 things. 142 of them were movies.
Dang. I watched 71 things.
How many,
Yay!
how many did you see in the theater?
8.
I saw 6 at the drive-in, so
There you go. But
not
this
bad.
is watch these videos back to back to back where I'm like, I watch a movie every week in the theater.
It was new job year.
New job year, kids still running amok, amok, amok. And yeah, but no, we still got 8 in the theater and we are scheduling the important ones for theatrical viewing already. We definitely want to see Ghostbusters in the theater, Madam Web, um, Deadpool. So,
Yep.
you
So
know,
we did 6 debut
superhero movies.
reviews last year, 26 movie mandates. Um,
Yes.
8 of the movies I watched last year were rewatches, some of which were movie mandates, like
Right.
Chef comes to mind. Um, I saw a movie where the first letter of the movie's title covered every single letter in the English alphabet except Q.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw U and X and V and
I don't
Z.
think I have a queue.
Like the only thing I can think, Quantum of Solace, a James Bond movie, and then Q the Winged Serpent,
Well,
which is great. Larry Cohen movie from like the 80s. Everyone should see it. It's good.
something that I'm going to talk about, we can get into as to whether or not it's a Q or not.
I mean, if it was like the Quantum of Solace, I'd probably kind of actually
Then guess what? I have a Q.
let me see if I do, because I do not.
Okay.
I do not have a key. So all of my letters, all of my, Z and U and X didn't have a the or a or an in front of them. So
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Where you fail, I will make up for.
there we go.
I'm
So between the
kidding.
two of us, we saw something that covers every English American English alphabet letter. Um, Another thing I found kind of interesting is I watched. I also track it by what streaming service or if I watch in theater.
Right.
I watched 33 things on Shudder, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime. 33 on each, even. Which whoop, and then my sister leaves. So let's wait till she comes back.
And I didn't touch a damn thing.
So my sister's back, and she just said, "This does not happen when I'm recording with anyone." She, like me, uses Zoom in work all day, every day.
Yeah.
And according to her, this crap with her constantly freezing or dropping out. Before we started recording, her microphone was doing the spinning wheel of death. We had to communicate via charades.
Which we would totally win, by the way.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought it was interesting because I watched 24 things on Netflix, 15 things on the Criterion Channel, but 33 things on Shudder, 33 on Disney Plus, and 33 on Amazon Prime. I didn't break it down to what kind of things, but I think I saw the most movies on Shudder because there's a bunch of, Disney Plus is a bunch of like the Marvel and the Star Wars TV shows. Amazon Prime is a couple TV shows I watched, like I watched the third season of The Boys.
Oh yeah, that was
Also
good.
the animated thing of The Boys and the animated Invincible. I don't think there's a live action Invincible, but so I think the one I saw the most movies on this year was Shudder. Although I did
Wow.
watch the fourth season of Creepshow on Shudder, so it wasn't all movies, but yeah.
But that's still only one thing. It's several. Like that's the thing about series is that they take up a lot more time than movies.
Yep. 10 on HBO Max, and then a further 15 on Max once they dropped the HBO.
I think I still have written like when did that happen? I mean, I know it wasn't long ago.
Middle of spring sometime, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. Watched
Unfun Chili Willy.
yeah, watched let's see. 4 things on Hoopla, 3 on Canopy. Where's Tubi? 2 things on Tubi.
Tubi. I watched something on Tubi. Probably something that we had to watch together. I also think I have 5. I'm looking to see if there's 6. But I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies on a Southwest Airlines flight.
The best way to watch a movie.
5. Yes, of course. And the things that I choose to watch on them is very weird because a lot of them are like cry your eyes out type of movies. So I don't know.
On
Glutton
planes?
for punishment.
On
My
planes?
Southwest Airlines flight. I watched.
Is there a selection or is it just like whatever happens to be? They just air.
No, there's a selection. Their selection is odd in that some of it is like really new movies. Some of it is like randomly old movies, but like the really new ones are like, it's like Blockbuster. But like Blockbuster, that they have like the new releases, but maybe they're not super, super new. They're like
new to us.
The B-level movie, not B movie, but like, they're new, but you weren't really excited about them in the first place. And then
New releases, when movies hit a video like 9 months to a year after they finish their theatrical run.
And then there's a lot of like Harry Potter's on there and like some like just family friendly fare. There's a lot of this really light Cracker Jacky fare, which I can understand because you're on a plane. But then if you were me, you choose, that's where I watched my my Asian cinema stuff, my Korean films when I was going through that.
Oh, I watched a movie that starts with a number too. I saw
Oh,
65, that movie with Adam Driver and dinosaurs.
oh, Adam Driver.
Unfortunately, I saw
Yummy.
it at the drive-in, and that movie is friggin' dark.
I can only imagine.
Like,
Like even the
I'm only assuming there were dinosaurs in it. I'm pretty sure there, like in the climax, I think there might have been more than one dinosaur, but I'm honestly not sure. I think a
Yikes.
second big Rex kind of dinosaur showed up, possibly a third. I don't know. I literally could not see. I didn't
Wow.
like 65. I didn't think it was very good. But to be fair, I don't think I actually saw it. I
Right.
didn't see 65.
Right. But
It
even
was
what
there when
you're
it was playing, but I couldn't actually see it,
right. So
making it actually one of my more memorable experiences, but it's not on my list. So we're going to start with you because I want to end with me, because one of the films I want to talk about, I have to spoil.
okay, fantastic.
And I'm going to spoil it for you. I'm sorry, but I want to give everyone a chance to, duck out.
Listen and then bugger
Yeah.
off. Got it. Okay.
Rather than try to, because I don't want to do timestamps.
Yeah, not when we get to talking. So yeah, this is all true. So this year we watched very recently, in fact. We watched Daredevil, the third season.
Oh, the show on Netflix.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah. So we've been watching I think I watched the first season long ago. So in preparation for the third season, we watched the second season, and then we watched. So we watched it from and I actually think we watched it from the beginning. So like it's an old show, but we watched it from the beginning.
Yeah, I think the season one came out in like 2016 or something like that. It's been a while.
It's been a minute. And he has aged beautifully. But anyways,
Charlie
here's
Cox.
huh?
Charlie Cox, you mean?
Yes, Daredevil. He was in She-Hulk.
Yeah, as Daredevil, yeah.
As Daredevil in a different his different look though, his different getup, like the yellowish one.
Oh, he had a slightly different outfit in that one, but yeah.
So here's why Daredevil makes my list. And it's
Daredevil as a whole, or season 3 specifically? Either one works. I'm just curious.
either one works. It's three probably, but like three probably.
Okay.
Because of Vincent D'Onofrio. And here's the problem with Vincent D'Onofrio.
There's a problem with Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yes, there is. According to my other, there is. And the problem with him is I like him too much. And so Fisk, for me, I want him to be happy, and I want him to be with Vanessa.
And I'm not supposed to.
And I'm not supposed to. And literally, we'll be watching it, and something bad will happen, and I'll be like, oh, but he loves her. And I'm just like, you're not supposed to.
Vanessa, is that?
Yes.
Is that her? Okay.
Yes. So first off, huge D'Onofrio fan, always been a D'Onofrio fan. He is a very awesome person, interesting person, very incredible actor, very nuanced. I think that it's weird how not lauded he is. Sometimes, like, he's consistently working. It's not as if the man is not working, but he's not a star.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. People know who he is. He works all the time. He never phones it in.
Everyone agrees he's great.
Everyone agrees he's great. And he can go from campy and this, like he across the board, and he was in The Cell, and he can play like that kind of strange character as well. But he's not an it person. He's never been an it person. And I think to myself, like, Philip Seymour Hoffman did it. How come Vincent D'Onofrio can't do it? But anyways, the point is that
Being a Mission Impossible movie. Maybe that's the key.
There you go. There you go. So my point is, though, season 2 of Daredevil, I really wasn't super keen on. I liked it anyways, but I don't
half
like.
Of it is bad.
Yeah, I
but
don't,
half of it
yeah.
is good.
So there's a part of me that I'm like, oh, I wasn't. So then when season 3 came out and it was just so good, like just it was so good. I'm like, you're back, you're so good, and you're back. And so I was very excited, but it's just impactful because it's interesting to me how in the right hands, because I do believe that it makes it more complex, at least for me as a viewer, to even though I know Fisk is evil, he is the bad guy, and I'm totally on board with, and we're watching Echo right now. Um, so totally on board with that he's the bad guy and that she shoots him in the face in the movie and everything. And so boom, we're good.
Well,
But
the,
it's
Hawkeye.
great when you have a villain who is also you understand why he does everything that he does and like why to him it like he is a full three-dimensional bad guy. And I think that he has that human aspect. He's a monster, but
Yeah,
he
but
has
you
that
know
human
why he's a
aspect.
monster.
And it's just and it's also like if you just look at his performance in a microcosm, you're just like, what weird choices, sir. But like you think to yourself, like, how did he know that that would work so well? So like my entire impactfulness is around a single actor. It was a great season 3, but like it's just so interesting to me that it makes me happy to see that kind of villain. It really does. Even though I'm maybe biased to the actor who portrays the villain, I truly think though that everyone, despite their thoughts on like, oh, he's so evil, we get him in a way.
Mhm.
So, and I don't know. So, I mean, and he left the painting with the woman, Bullseye didn't, but like he did. So, I mean, he has, not that there's goodness in him because he was going over there to screw her out, but
He has his own code, his own,
yeah,
maybe not morals, but at least an ethical compass.
yeah,
Yeah, a fascinating character and fascinating portrayal by an operator. Yeah, I agree.
yeah. So that was my first one. So we started with a series. So
Okay. Um, all of are all mine movies? Yeah, all of mine are movies. The first one I'm going to talk about is a Japanese film called Tampopo.
I've heard of it. I've not
We
seen it.
talked about this when
Yeah.
we were doing monthly movie mini reviews.
This is the food one, right?
Yeah, this is kind of a cross between I'd actually no, it's for movie mandates. I'd considered it for the Need for Feed month.
Yeah.
Went with mostly Martha, I believe. So I ended up watching this one, and it's a comedy. It's a fusion of it's it's a Western. Um, it's kind of like yeah, it's a Western, but in a noodle shop. Because it has the drifter who comes in and uh defends the town, teaches them how to survive. And it's basically, the wizened old drifter ends up in a noodle shop, sees potential there, and sticks around to help her become the best noodle shop that she can be. Now, what's interesting about this movie is its structure, which I don't think entirely works because the pacing is weird, particularly for a comedy, and the editing is off-putting a lot. But interspersed between the main narrative through line are little thematically relevant vignettes. The movie as a whole is a celebration of food
Hmm.
um, in every conceivable way, from just enjoying a cup of noodles to uh, giving life. There's one scene that's just a mother breastfeeding a child. There's one scene where there's food as comfort for mourning. There's food in sex play. There's food as part of an actual con. So the movie just there's food presented in manners, how to eat food properly.
Mhm.
So it's a celebration of the numerous myriad ways that food is seen and utilized and its importance from our birth all the way to our death. Is it entirely successful at that? No, but it's there. And
Okay.
I appreciate it. I do think that the pacing and the editing gets in its own way, but the movie is laugh out loud funny a lot. What I really want to talk about, however, is the food sex scenes,
Great. Let's talk about those.
because that's what stuck out to me. That's what made it one of the most impactful movies of 2023 for me, because you know me, but
I do.
you may not. I am a prude. I don't want to watch people smooch on
Nope.
screen, let alone have sex, particularly have sex with food. I mean, they're not having sex with the food, but
Thank gosh.
the food is adjacent to the sex.
It's food adjacent. They're like, oh, I just need a sandwich. I need to
I
refuel with
forget
this
what
sandwich
movie
over
it is,
here.
but there's a
Nine and a
famous
half
love
weeks.
scene. Is it 9.5 feet with the yeah.
Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger.
Yes, yes, yeah. See, it is a famous scene.
It's a famous
That
scene.
grosses me out.
Yeah.
Food play grosses me out, and I like food.
Right.
I'm like,
You
"Oh,
got some for your birthday.
you ruined the food." I love sushi, but I don't know if this is like a made up thing. You've seen the
The naked
person
bodies.
laying there with the. I am not eating raw fish off
No.
of someone's naked body. I don't
No.
care how hard they scrub themselves with soap. That's
No.
friggin' gross. That's
Absolutely not.
ew.
Nope. Not
Ew.
not gonna
No.
happen. And I don't even think why. Like, what about that? Like, what about that is intriguing to anybody, the person eating and or the person being covered in fish?
Yeah, well, the person being covered in raw fish is getting paid for it, I would hope.
I
So
hope
right,
so freaking well. I hope unbelievably well that they're getting paid for that.
I mean, at the end of the night, do you smell like
Oh
raw
God, yes.
fish? You're in the shower. I can't get the raw fish smell.
You have
Hey,
like
Susan, you want to go
bromopads
to
in there.
sushi? No. I never want to see sushi again.
Mm.
Now it's
Okay,
time for
I'm
sushi.
sorry.
So one of the recurring vignettes in Tampopo is
Tampopo.
a couple who and their increasingly elaborate and ridiculous forays into food play. And it's one of those things where
I love how you're moving in a chair because you're like, God, this is so uncomfortable.
it's one of those things where it's genuinely disgusting, and it keeps going and keeps going to a point where you're like, okay, now I'm actually impressed.
They went for it.
Yeah, there's a scene with like he traps a live piece of seafood. I don't know if it's a prawn or something, like it's like in a bowl, and he like holds it against her belly and it's flopping around and she's just laughing and being tickled and stuff. And it's like, what the hell? But one of the coup de grace for my it's not the end. The end is actually even more ridiculous. But the one that sticks out in my mind is one of them cracks a raw egg into the other's mouth, and then they swap it back and forth.
Nope.
It's
I'm out.
Yeah, it is
I'm out.
horrifically disgusting.
Oh
But after like the fifth or sixth trade without breaking the yolk, I'm horrified and disgusted, but I'm like honestly
impressive.
impressed.
That's actually impressive.
I'm like, oh my God, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. But holy shit, that's amazing. How did they manage that? How many takes did they do?
one.
It's like
I'd be like, we are
one, you
making
get
this
one.
work.
We're gonna swap back and forth without breaking it as many times as we can, and that's it.
And that, yeah, period. That would be the end. Oh God, I can't.
It's such a visceral. Oh my God. Oh, it's so gross.
I don't want a piece of like solid food that isn't already the consistency I'm out.
Yeah,
But like
it's ugh.
I don't need like any
Mixed
none.
with someone else's spittle, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to think of anything, like nothing is coming to mind of like it's just unacceptable across the board.
Yes, yeah. Um, but surprisingly, these food sex scenes go so far, so
Apparently.
obnoxiously far that they actually become genuinely funny and impressive in some senses. So
That's
that was one
insane.
of the most impactful moments of 2023 was the food sex scenes from Tampopo.
That's insane. It's pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring us down
Okay.
then. Okay. So my second most impactful thing is my Q movie. It's A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah, I'd count that as a cue. Sure.
And the reason it's impactful is because A Quiet Place, the first one, I thought was really great. I thought it was like new and improved, like it was really great, really thoughtful, really solidified a world. Like you're thinking, that bar has been set. And like Quiet Place 2 didn't just lower the bar, it like just was like, I don't want to play. It was terrible. Like it took a world that had established rules and established characters who had established intelligence. And one would assume that over time only would get more intelligent and more adaptable to the world around. And
Mhm.
nope. Did you see A Quiet Place too?
I haven't seen either of them.
A Quiet, I mean, you know the conceit, of
I get
course.
the yeah, I know the premise, yeah.
And
Sound sensitive aliens.
exactly. And it's the feedback from like radio feedback that like hurts their ears and makes them go away. And the daughter is deaf, and so her
So it's almost
earpiece
the
is.
ending of Mars Attacks. They just have to play the right song at them. And
Oh,
they're
I actually don't recall the end of Mars Attacks. I don't recall a lot about that movie
I
other
forget
than my
what movie,
feelings.
what song it is and what artist, but they find a the grandmother's listening to an old record and some yodeling guy and
That'll do.
they play this it just makes the alien the Martians heads pop.
So it is semi akin to
Mhm.
that, but it is like feedback, like from a microphone and
Yeah,
amp type of a thing.
that
So,
makes
anyways,
sense. They're sound sensitive, so.
oh my goodness, I'm like all of a sudden I have acid reflux. This is all true. So in the first one, and they're very thoughtful in the first one of how like they're playing games with like felt dice and like it's just really interesting and they learn sign language. And then the second one goes and they're opening stuff left and right, making noise. Like I'm like, that would be so loud. Like, why are like it's just they threw out everything that they had established. And it was really sad to see because it was, and I guess like it does suffer from like the sequel's never as good as the original. And like there's a history of the second one, except for in Star Wars, but there's like a history of the second one just failing to live up, which is why when there's trilogies, normally, again, there's exceptions to every rule, but like, in general, the third one gets better in these sort of, just like I talked about
Mhm.
Daredevil, the second season, I was like, oh, could have left you. Never needed Karen and what's his, Charlie Cox to get together, Daredevil, hello, to get together. But um, yeah, so it was these characters that you actually grew to be excited about and like be interested in what happens next in their story. You just get by like beat by beat through the movie, you just get more and more disappointed. And at the end, you're kind of like, I'm sure that they got away because that's the movie and they're supposed to win. I don't remember it because like there were not like and it also because they broke all the rules, it got rid of any stakes. That I'm like, oh, well, you're talking out there, you're walking around in this, like you're having full on conversations out in the open in like a warehouse that is echoey. Like it's just a thing that I'm like, now you
Like, well,
broke my heart, John Krasinski.
if you don't seem concerned by the alien monsters,
Then
why
why am
should
I
I be?
exactly like it's like their concern ebbs and flows, and I'm like, okay, then like I guess you realize that, oh, they never come nearby, and it takes them about like maybe they should have told us that they've timed it, that it takes them 20 minutes to get there, so we can
Yeah.
have the like. But that's the thing is like, when the stakes are so low, you're
Mhm.
like, you can't bring them back up, guys. You just lowered them.
That kind of reminds me, there's this zombie anime called High School of the Dead. Um, Zombie apocalypse happens, and our core cast are kids in high school. Okay.
Feel like I've seen this. No, it's animated, you said?
Yeah,
So
it's
then I
anime.
haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
a
please continue.
anime from, I don't know, a decade or so ago. It's okay. It's got zombies in it, so how bad could it be?
Exactly.
But in the first episode, or at least the very first, or it might be like the first three episodes, because the kids are in school, zombie apocalypse happens, and the first arc over the first couple of episodes is them getting out of the school.
Okay.
So maybe it's not the first episode, maybe it's just the first three, but in the very beginning of the story, it's established that the zombies are sound based.
Okay.
So they try and sneak out of the school, around the hordes of zombies, and then one accidentally bumps something, and oh no, they hear us run, that kind of thing. That factoid is never brought up again throughout the entire series.
Oh,
I wonder if that was in the manga. Is it like
interesting.
it's so weird because it's like maybe the authors were like, oh, we've written ourselves into a corner here. That I just be
Maybe.
quiet. This is no fun. Uh,
We need them to
that's like
talk,
not
damn
a
it.
thing throughout the rest of the show. That
Huh.
never comes up again. It was so weird.
Interesting.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the little girl has like teen angst and everything. And I get that no matter what world you're in, you're gonna have teen angst. But like when you live in a world of truly your angst is life or death, maybe you go,
Priorities, people.
yeah, I don't I mean, it's weird. Anyways, please continue. Your second one.
All right. So, I had a bunch of movies that were surprises to me. I wasn't expecting much out of them, and then I watched them and I went, ah.
Oh, very nice.
A few examples. Um, Evil Dead Rise. Um, I I've seen all the Evil Dead movies, and I've only seen the first episode of the TV show, which was all right. First movie's okay. Second movie's different tone, but still okay. Third movie, okay. Saw the newish one, which was like 2013 or something like that,
Oh
and it
I
was
totally forgot about that
okay.
one.
And then I saw Evil Dead Rise, which came out I think last year, or 2022 maybe, and I really liked it. Easily my
Good.
favorite of the Evil Dead films. I love the change of location. This one takes place in an apartment building instead of
Is
out
Bruce
in
in
the
it?
woods. No, no. All new cast, all new
Oh, okay.
characters, different Necronomicon too.
Oh.
Don't know if if they're doing a thing where like there's actually different books, or if they just like redesigning the damn thing all the time.
Or
Not
if
sure.
it's like using just the same like lore and redo it like they
Yeah.
did for Halloween for a movie,
But
right?
great gore gags, wonderful change of setting. The lead performer, whoever she is, who plays the lead deadite, just wonderful physical performance from her. So I really enjoyed it. Nimona, animated film that was on Netflix, gal with the pink hair, who shapeshifts.
Yes, you told me about this.
Right. I had read the comic that this was based on, and I went, meh, it's all right. So when I heard that it had been sold to do an animated adaptation, I went, what the hell, I'll watch it. I went, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I saw the Puss in Boots movie and I was like, it's fine. And then I saw The Last Wish and I went, oh, holy shit, it's actually really good.
Really? Oh, I want to watch that. That's the thing that Miles and I liked.
Yeah.
We used to watch the TV show together.
Another movie that I'm not even sure why I watched it. I was not expecting anything from it. Storks. Do you remember
Are you
Storks?
kidding me?
The animated movie about storks who deliver babies?
It's just as bad as the new movie Migration, as in, like, why do I even want to watch this? It's a movie about
the trailer, I'm like,
pigeons. I don't care.
It's because the wolves in the trailer made me laugh.
Okay.
And they're friggin' hilarious throughout the entire movie, but the entire movie is actually fine. It's perfectly fine.
I remember when I first,
but it's fine. The trailer made it look like shit. The dogs looked funny, and they are. But I was like, maybe the dogs would. But I was actually impressed. I was like, okay, it's not garbage. It's just completely fine.
I feel like this is my reaction to the day that I watched Boss Baby, because this was when he and I were first starting to date.
Garbage, which is why
I had never watched it because it didn't look great. But of course, he had kids, and so they had watched it, and they were always like, "Oh my God, you gotta watch it!" And I'm like, "Fine, I'll watch it." And I was like, "Yep, that was. I mean, so much better than I would have expected it to be." So I totally know where you're coming from. That you're like, "Huh, maybe they do know what they're doing after all." All right, your turn. I'm sorry, I've interrupted.
It's all right. Again. Which brings us to the actual movie that I'm saying is one of my top 3 most impactful films, The Bad Guys.
Oh, yes.
A movie that seen. It's the general premise is a wolf, a snake, a shark, a piranha, and a tarantula are the bad guys. They are con people and they perform heists. They steal stuff. So it's kind of like Ocean's 11, essentially. You have a group of anti-heroes. I saw the trailer and I went, meh. And then but I love animation, so I went ahead and watched the movie and I'm like, that's actually really good. But what impressed me most about this movie, and the reason it stuck out to me and it made an impact, is because unlike Disney, it managed to get the metaphor right. Because Disney has a problem with metaphor. It either doesn't think it through or just doesn't care. I liked Zootopia. I was entertained. I thought it was a fine movie, but boy, if you look beyond surface level, that's you really didn't think that metaphor through now, did ya?
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Sorry, birthday text.
Of course, it's your day.
Yes. So Zootopia, quickly, its problem is its premises. There's predator animals, meat eaters, and there's prey animals, broadly herbivores that are preyed upon by meat-eating animals. Now, in this world, you have all these anthropomorphized animals who are coming together to live in a society, and there's prejudice between the two groups, the prey animals and the predator animals. And I get what they're going for.
Right.
You have to look beyond the labels that we give people.
Right.
The problem is the metaphor doesn't work when one of the groups is literally a group that eats the other
group. Yeah. They are literally prey. There's prey and predator. Like that's how they survive.
Right. the lions were not stigmatized. They were not they were not unfairly stigmatized as, oh, those lions always eating gazelles and everything. It's like, they do. That's literally what they are, predators. They eat prey. Prey are eaten by predators. So they got the whole metaphor backwards. Because what they're saying is that the discriminated against minority is actually violent and dangerous by their very nature. And it's like, I know that's not what you mean.
Right. But that's
But
what you're
that's what that
saying.
says. So which
Yeah.
brings us to the bad guys. Which actually gets the metaphor right, because the bad guys, who are a wolf, a python, maybe, yeah, I think a python, a tarantula, a piranha, and a shark. As animals, they are looked at as bad guys. The snakes are slimy and slithery, and
Right.
sharks just mindlessly eat everything. But in this world, they're that's not how that works. Zootopia kind of got some of it right with the fox's backstories. Like, well, when you're a fox, everyone thinks you're a trickster, and they will always treat you like that, whether you are or not. And it's like, yes,
Right.
that's the way to do it.
Right.
And the bad guys manages to do that, where these characters feel like they have to be the bad guys because they will never be seen as anything other than what what people perceive them as.
Right.
And this movie shows that anyone, no matter how cute and cuddly, can be a bad guy. It's not what you are, it's what you do that
Right.
makes you a bad
Oh, see,
guy.
that is a different approach. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
They don't, yeah.
Now, there were earlier, I looked at some like documentaries and stuff, and there were some earlier drafts of Zootopia where they were like, we're gonna have a predator shock collars. A little bit, you can see a little bit of this in the movie with they're trying to come up with something that regresses predators back to a primal state or something like that. But what they did was they collared. Did you ever see the movie Fido, where they came up with those collars
No,
that
no, you've told me
zombies?
about it, but I did
Yeah,
not. No.
kind of that idea. It's like, yeah, for the message you're going for, that is definitely not the way to do it.
Yeah. I hear you. That would be a bad idea.
Yeah. But the bad guys, also an entertaining, funny movie. The
There's
Christmas special that just came out is absolute garbage. Don't bother watching. It's terrible.
there's a Christmas
Yeah,
I didn't know first I didn't know that there was
yeah,
a
I didn't.
Christmas
I saw it
special,
on Netflix. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch that. I'm like, I regret
but
everything.
also crap, what was I about to say? I will say Bad Guys was on the list to watch. We just never got around to it, mainly because they watched it with their mom. So
Mhm.
it was like one of those we didn't have them that weekend that it came out, so it just never happened. Great trailer though, I must say. Bad Guys, like their trailer was great because I remember watching that going, oh, now that looks good.
I
So
don't know. I bounced off the trailer. I was like, eh. If I ever see it on streaming, I'll watch it, and I did. And it impacted me last year, because it's like, finally, an animated feature getting the animal personality metaphor thing correct. You know,
well, cool. I've been looking for a Facebook post of mine that I'm just not finding. And the reason why is because of my third movie. And I posted about it and I was trying to find the post, and it's not like I post a lot on Facebook. So, whatever. It's like, nope, that's of Olivia. Nope, that's of Olivia. Nope, still Olivia. Can't find it. That's fine. The point is that my third and final movie is the best movie that I saw last year, and I loved it so much, and we're going to talk about it. However, since you got to give some shout outs, I want to give two real quick shout outs. To Violent Night, which is
I
like
was
new.
gonna shout, that's actually on my list to as runners up.
Oh my gosh. So yeah,
Just a thoroughly entertaining movie, just really, really good.
genuinely good.
Hmm.
And oh, I think I posted it on the Twitters, not on the this. Anyways, and then so yeah, just genuinely good. And like a new Christmas staple. Seriously, like it just
Yeah, I
it's
would not be
truly
opposed to
Christmassy. I like it.
anyone entering that into the
Yeah,
Christmas rotation.
100%, 100%. And the other one that I just want to really quick shout out, and I think I've even mentioned it before, on one of our other recordings is 10,000 Years of Longing with Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton.
Mhm.
And I forget which recording we were talking about when I talked about that, because the thing I liked about that one is that it's truly just like two people really telling a story. And especially Tilda Swinton, who spends the entire film
In a
in
bath.
a bathrobe and a hair towel.
With
And
the exception of the very end of the movie, but yeah.
sure. But like, and you're just like,
And the very beginning, but yeah.
you don't need shit to act. Look at you. Like you have nothing. You don't have makeup on. You don't have your hair showing. You don't have a body. Like there's no
She like
like,
shows up to work like that, and they're like, you know what? No, actually, that'll
yeah,
work. Just get in
so
here.
it's just yeah, so it's crazy. I thought it was great.
We saved a lot on costume and makeup.
Yeah. So yes,
Take a shower, put on a robe, sit down. You're
there you go.
good. You got your lines? Yeah. All right, we're fine.
All right. So the best movie I found is Beau Is Afraid. And I'm sure you knew I was going there.
What?
So here's what I wrote about it.
Beau's
And
afraid? What?
Beau Is Afraid.
Beau is afraid. Okay, okay. Got it.
So I said about it, if you don't understand depression slash anxiety, go see this movie and then be gentle with your friends who are struggling. If you, I have never seen mental health portrayed in such a perfect way. And it said it hit incredibly close to home, and it is a backing with an A, of course, brilliant film. And I stand by that. So yeah, I actually wrote that. It is really great. I went I went to the theater to see this. This is one of my theater movies. And I went with a few friends, a good amount of friends actually. And first off, it is a 3-hour film. I knew that going in, but apparently my friends were not, so they did not realize that it was a 3-hour, and they're people who are very antsy, and I'm just like, y'all need to get over yourselves. And they're also not like they're movie people, they're not film people. And this is a film.
Had they ever seen an Ari Aster film before?
That's the thing, is I think not. Because
Okay.
and so after it was over, we were driving home, two of them and I, so everyone else left. But after it was done, everyone was like, I'm so glad that's over. What did we just watch? All this. And I'm quietly going, I thought it was brilliant, guys. And they're like, what am I supposed to get? And I forget even what they took out of it. Like they were just like, so is this? And I said, whoa. If you're gonna come at me about this movie in a very like point of facts, like Matt, it's not. It is literally a portrayal of the things that people who have anxiety and depression think. Like every scene is how he works through a certain emotion and how he works. So it's incredibly done and incredibly uncomfortable to watch, and but fantastic to watch because it really is. I fully understand why it's off-putting to people. I get that. Of course it is, because it does not make sense. It is not linear, and there's so much that happens that you're just and it's almost fantastical in ways that you're like, okay, all of a sudden this is a fantasy film, or all of a sudden this is a sci-fi film, but it's not. It's quite literally just his ability to cope with loss and his ability to figure out how to maneuver through conversations, because as people who suffer with mental health issues, every conversation you enter, you have played in your head, and it goes in a different fashion. And normally it never goes nearly as bad as it goes in your head. But instead, this movie took the headcanon and put it on screen. It's fascinating. It's incredible.
Sounds like something that's definitely not going to work for everybody.
And that's the thing, is it's not going to work for everyone, but for the people who it's going to work for, it's just insane. And for the people who it's not going to work for, which is why I think I mentioned that, is it's my post, and I'm glad that I found it, is because of the whole, if you enter this and it's not for you, just know that what it's depicting is mental health issues, and just walk away going, oh shit, that's upsetting for my friends.
Do you think it's possible for someone, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way, but do you think it's possible for an audience member to watch this film and genuinely not get that it's a depiction of mental illness?
Yes, because my friends didn't.
Okay.
I actually sat in the back seat
In
of my
good
car.
faith, not get that that's what the
Yeah,
movie.
it was funny because, and I wish I remember the conversation better. Again, this movie was near the beginning of the year, and I wish I understood the conversation better, because we were in the car and he just started saying, his idea of what happened. And he was explaining something. He's like, so let me get this straight. This, and like, he was trying to explain the plot of the movie. And I let him maybe get 3 sentences out. And I said, stop right there. Let me explain what the movie's about. And I said it, and he goes, oh my God. Yep. He's like, you're so, I would have never put that together. And I was like, how could you, like, to me, it was so obvious, like what was happening. And at the end of the movie, and I'm not giving anything away. Well, I'm going to spoil the very end of the movie, but I'm not giving anything away to you because you'll never watch it. And if you do,
I mean, I probably will at some point.
That's true.
The problem with Ari Aster is, rather the notable thing with Ari Aster's work as it relates to me is the way these movies are marketed has never been appealing to me.
Yeah.
But then you sing their praises, and I go, oh, well, okay. And I watch them, like, that's pretty damn good,
Because I think Midsommar was
I've seen Midsommar, and I personally I like Hereditary better, but I liked both of them quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then I saw the trailer for Beau Is Afraid and went, so I may actually go watch it, but go ahead and spoil it.
First off, you should definitely watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we should talk about it. And I need to watch it again. That's its own bag of worms. I'll find that 3-hour time slot someday.
I mean, like I remember, sorry to derail, but a month ago or so, the new Indiana Jones film hit
one of the
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey, new Indiana Jones. You know what? I like indie. As long as it's not over 2.5 hours or something like that, I'll give it a watch. And it's like 2 hours and 36 minutes. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
That's it. Is it me last night or the other night?
There was something else that I wanted to watch, but it was like literally 3 hours long. I'm like, I have to work in the morning. I don't want to stay up until 1:30 watching this. And
she asked me the other night, she said, Kelly, do you think I have time to take a really quick bath if I do 15 minutes only? And I looked at her and I said, tell you what, because I said, tell you what, if it's before 8:30, I'll let you get in the bath. And she's like, okay. And we go, honey, what time is it? And he goes, it is 8:31. We just started laughing, and I go, I said, go ahead. Obviously, but it was just so perfectly timed. I said, if it's before 8:30, it's 8:31. And I was like, of course it is.
It's like arguing with a mogwai. It was 11:59, you little shit.
Not the coffee pot clock.
Your watch is fast.
Yes, no. So at the very end, he rows in a boat randomly down a river that turns into an amphitheater, like a Roman Colosseum. So, like all rivers end. and so he, and then the boat capsizes.
Mm-hmm.
And the credits roll, and people start to leave this Roman Colosseum, and the entire credits roll, and people are leaving the entire time. And I was sitting there and I watched the entire credits while my friends were waiting for me in the lobby, just in case anything happened. Nothing does, just letting you know. But also because like it's such a fascinating and
That's now
absolutely perfect ending.
I don't have the context of the film, but I already see that as a very powerful image. What that
Yes.
reads to me, knowing it, knowing none of the other context, what that says to me is someone you can literally drown in your depression and have an entire amphitheater of filled with audience members just passively and uninterestingly watching you and going, huh,
Yeah.
and then walk away.
It's
there's the opportunity, countless opportunities for people to stick out a hand and help you and pull you out, and they all just watch and then filter out. That's what that imagery says. I don't know if that's a correct reading without the rest of the context of the film, but that's pretty clear.
I'm not going to tell you yay or nay because there's technically another way to look at it, which in watching the movie, there's no way for you to get the other way unless you watch the movie.
Right.
And we can talk about it. But yes, either way, both are extremely accurate possibilities. That is one way to read it. And it makes the ending of the movie completely different, however you read that. And to me, I'm like, amazing. This is amazing. Whereas people were just like,
and it kind of depends on the perspective, because it could also just be not that no one's willing to help him. It's just that it's his perception, his perspective that he's floundering, he's drowning with amidst all these people.
Everyone's watching.
Friggin' audience, and no one's helping him. That may not actually be what's happening, but that may genuinely be his perspective. So okay, now I'm actually interested in watching this movie. So you're better at selling Ari Aster films to me than whoever they pay to cut trailers.
Yeah.
Then again, if whoever they pay to cut trailers were marketing specifically to my sensibilities, movies would probably flop.
Fair enough.
But I'd be there.
You're like, did you see that? Did you see it? Yeah. So, I'm excited now that I haven't spoiled anything. But your turn to spoil for me. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But give your shout outs, of course. Sorry.
It was an interesting year because there were many, I saw 142 movies. What was it? 142 movies. And a lot of them I enjoyed, but there wasn't really anything that stuck out. Oh my God, this is an amazing film. I mean, I really liked Violent Night. That was why it was on my short list. But a lot of all of my impactful movies were impactful just for like super specific reasons, like the sex stuff in Tampopo, the metaphor stuff in The Bad Guys. But I did want to bring up, I would have brought up Violent Night just because it was so fun. I finally got, I think in 2019, I wrote a list of 5 movies coming out that I really want to see.
And then you did a video about that, right?
Yeah, one of them was A Fantastic Woman, and I finally got to see it, and I really enjoyed it. Yay. Not one of the most impactful movies of the year for me, I don't think, but I really, it took 4 years for me to find it and see it, but quite enjoyed it. The other movie I wanted to bring up is Bringing Up Baby, which is a movie from
Isn't that an old movie about a tiger or a lion or something strange?
And Kathleen Hepburn.
Okay.
And it's about well, not a couple, but a guy and a gal who, Baby is a cheetah or a leopard or a big cat. And it's a screwball comedy of them trying to get through the movie without losing the cat or people getting eaten.
Is it a baby?
No,
Or is it
it's
full?
well, it's young, but it's full grown. This
Okay.
was like a circus cheetah or something that they used.
Okay.
Although there, occasionally there's a stand-in, occasionally there's a split screen shot, occasionally um, it's actually there live on set. Um, what stuck out for me for that movie is it's genuinely very funny movie. Cary Grant's always fun. I like him, and Kathleen Hepburn, I don't think I have ever seen her be that overtly comedic, but she stunned me in that performance. She
Cool.
played one of the most delightfully deranged people, and not in a mean way. She's just like, what is wrong with this lady? I mean, she's nice, but she's just not all there. Like she gets into the wrong car. She gets into Cary Grant's car to leave wherever the hell she is. And he's like, and he's this is one of those open cars without a roof,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
not a convertible, but this is back in like the 40s, so it's one of these cars. And she gets in the wrong car, and he's standing on the runner board outside, and she's like, "Get off my!" He's like, "No, you." She just cannot possibly comprehend that she's in the wrong car. She is so frustrating, but she manages enough charisma where you don't want to punch her in the head.
That's good.
She's not all there, but she's never mean about it. She just always assumes that she is correct and everyone else is just being silly. Yeah.
I only hope to get to that point in my life that I can just be like, no, no.
Yeah, just I didn't know she had such overtly comedic
Right,
performance in her, and I
right,
just it was, and pairing that with Cary Grant, sags in the middle, but sticks the landing. So
right.
really enjoy it. But the movie I am going to talk about, the one that I found most impactful, is a Christmas movie called Better Watch Out.
Okay.
This is a it's like maybe 2016 or somewhere
Okay.
around there. So it's within the last decade. Um, the premise, before I start spoiling it, the premise of the movie is it's a home invasion movie. So we have a kid who's about 12 or 13, somewhere around there. And actually played by an actor who's not much older than he's supposed to be. So
That's nice.
that's nice. They
That's
actually
nice.
got, and he's a great actor. There's two kids in this film. There's this kid and like his next door neighbor, buddy. And they're both really good. Then you have the babysitter who's 18 or 19, actor probably a little bit older than that, but it still sells.
But the consistency of age difference is there.
Right. But they also, you might say, well, okay, why does this 12 or 13-year-old need a babysitter? Well, it doesn't really, but she's been his babysitter since he was like 6, and they're just kind of good friends. It's nice to have an older person just watch the house, the parents think. And um so oh, the point is she is leaving the state or something for college. She's moving away.
The
So this is
babysitter.
right.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So it's like this is, let's for old time's sake do one last babysit. We'll watch movies. It's Christmas Eve. It's fine. You're probably too old for a babysitter, but we're friends. I'm leaving. This is the last time we'll see each other. So it's presented
Yeah.
from that point.
Cute.
So the premise of the movie is she's babysitting him. His little friend comes over, and there's a home invasion. Now, without spoiling anything, still, what impressed me about this movie was normally films with a premise like this um, lack tension because it doesn't convince the audience effectively. It doesn't do an effective job of convincing the audience that the kids are in any danger, right?
Right, right. Yes.
it's like, oh, people with guns or knives or toothy monsters have come into the house, but it's like they're not going to kill the kids.
We're
I mean,
kids, we're fine.
they
Yeah.
may bump their head, they might even bleed from a small cut or something like that, but they're
Dude, head
not.
wounds pour out, so it could
Yeah,
look real
yeah,
bad
yeah.
and be
They're
very
not
small.
gonna. I don't believe that these kids are actually in any danger. So that source of tension is gone if
Right.
that's what the film is relying on. And that can be a huge stumbling block. This movie clears that stumbling block. It does an excellent job of making you feel that anyone could die, even the 12-year-old kids, the 18, 19-year-old babysitter, the 12-year-old kids, the fish in the fish tank, and anyone is fair game. So the movie does an excellent job of making you believe that anyone could die. And to be clear, I don't need kids to die in a movie. I just need to, if that's where if a character's safety is where the tension comes from, I need to believe that they could get hurt
Right.
or get killed. Because
Yeah.
if I don't believe they're in any danger, then that source of tension's gone.
Yeah.
May
Like A
still be
Quiet Place.
right, may still be a fun movie, but um yeah. So, which is kind of the problem with a lot of modern day, well, any American cartoons, is it's like the Ninja Turtles aren't going to get hurt,
Right.
right?
Right.
They're going to be fine, which is why it was so devastating when like 6 Autobots friggin' died in the Transformers movie. It's like that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
Um,
Which is what I love about The Boys. No one's safe in that. Shoot, any of them.
yeah, yeah. You think the main cast is going to be fine, but maybe. But they also get hurt. Yeah. So this movie really impressed me with its ability to make me feel that anyone could get it at any time. It was effectively tense throughout the entire thing. You weren't sure what the invaders were actually going to do. And interestingly, it's not a very gory movie either. There is violence, and there are characters who do get got, but and get got hard,
Oh boy.
but most of it's done off screen or at least cut away from, but it's not done in a frustrating, it's like, well, why am I even watching this movie then?
Right.
It's
Right.
done in a, we only have so many resources to spend on this film,
Okay.
so we're going to do this in the most interesting and artistic way that we possibly can, and effective way. Like,
I do have a question.
mhm.
Is so I like that the tension is there. Is the intruder's motivation clear? Like, do we know why? Okay.
Eventually, yes.
Oh, okay.
I
But
mean,
okay.
at first, it's just people breaking into the house.
Sure, of course, of course.
And of course, there's going to be a twist. The invasion is not random. It's not like, what is it, the strangers, where the strangers just like, we rang a random doorbell, you were home.
Knock knock.
Right?
Yeah.
No. The in this film, there's the invaders are coming to this home for a specific reason.
Got it.
So, and actually, I think I won't spoil it. I think that pretty much well communicates why I found this film so impactful. And I unless I mean, fair if you've got an issue with violence being aimed at children, totally understand. But
It's a
if
movie.
that's not a complete no-go for you, I would recommend this one. It's well performed, it's well staged, it's well conceived. It remains tense even though you believe that violence could befall children. I'm pretty sure it's rated R, but it's not particular. There is some gore and characters do die, but it's not gory. even
Right.
though some horrific things do happen. And again, while they're not the horrific things are not explicitly depicted, they are presented in a satisfying and entertaining manner.
That's great. So my other question,
Mm-hmm.
did you see whatever this, did you see it coming, or were you pleasantly surprised, or was it like I saw it, but when I was right, I was still pleasantly surprised because it's cool? Like, where did that sit in your?
There were the movie does an excellent job of setting things up. One thing for younger viewers, if you want to have an easier time grasping theme, subtext, or even just getting ahead of a movie, keep in mind that everything you see on screen is there for a reason. Every prop in a room,
Oh, that's
every line
interesting.
of dialogue was written for a reason. So there's a scene early in the movie where the main kid and his best friend's over in his bedroom. They're talking about my babysitter is coming tonight. She's leaving. It's our last night, and so we're gonna have a Christmas movie marathon and stuff. And the friend pulls out a little gizmo that the boy keeps under his bed, which is it's not a heartbeat monitor, but it's a speaker system that emits a heartbeat sound.
Okay, like a sound machine for like bedtime type of thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's a sound machine, but it gives off like a heartbeat, similar to like it's used for babies, like infants, to because apparently when they're in the womb they can hear heartbeats. And you know what, as an in utero person, not only can you hear heartbeats, but you can hear your mom farting. You can hear all the weird gastrointestinal juices sloshing around. You think, oh, that relaxing thrum of the heartbeat. And they're just.
I was gonna say, like, that needs to be like in a comedy movie, like
in talking,
like turning on having like a very like an accurate baby sound machine
with all the farting,
of have a person come over and be like, "What the hell is that?" And they're like, that's what it sounds like inside.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, the fact that this kid sleeps with this sound machine under his bed, which is used for infants, is presented as just something, if you're only watching it and just doing a surface level read, it's just his friend being an asshole and teasing him over something. Sure. Okay, cool. But why that specifically? That's a pretty specific thing.
Right.
You're not going to know immediately, but that's definitely something to keep in mind because it's there for a reason. So things like that. So I predicted portions of what ended up happening, but there were other elements that did end up a surprise.
I love when that happens. Very nice. Very nice. Cool. I like that.
So those were the most impactful things that my sister and I saw in 2023. We will continue watching stuff this year and regale you with the most impactful things we watch, in a year's time. Yeah. So stay alive until then.
Stay tuned.
Bye, everyone.